How we doing?
Mark, I'm not sure if you feel like the officiating, I mean, I know it's different crews. I'm not sure if you feel like it's changed from game to game, but being in this building, switching, going from last game, are you bracing for, the physicality that's allowed or the physicality you're allowed to show? Are you bracing for that to change at all?
We're not going to guess. There's an element of understanding how the game's going to get called in every game. We'll go into the game tonight like any other game and try to calibrate that and play within that. We don't want to be in foul trouble. We don't want to be in the bonus. So understanding that is important. I know that's been a story to this point, and teams use the media to try to gain an edge in the playoffs. But the way we're looking at it is, these are the best officials in the league. If they're influenced by that, then there's a problem. They shouldn't be working the game. We trust that they're going to go out there, call the game fairly and consistently. If we don't feel like that's the case, we'll have something to say about it. But for the most part, we're trying to stay focused more on the things we can control, and the officiating, our opponent. Those are things that are outside of our control.
Hey, Coach. Coach Allen was just in here kind of laying out his theory on why maybe road teams have been so successful in these playoffs. What's your take on that? Is it noise just becoming noise and it's just you're used to it? Or why do you think road teams are so successful this playoff series, this playoff run?
Road teams? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not contesting it. I understand a lot of road teams have won, but ultimately we're just trying to stay focused on what we need to do to win the game, home or road. Ultimately, the game gets played in between the lines. The environments impact the feel of the game, but if we can stay focused tonight in obviously a great environment on what we need to do, we have confidence that we can win the game.
Coach, obviously the defensive scheme is a collective effort, but how important has Lou been in stopping or slowing down Jamal Murray so far?
I mean, Lou's important to us every night because every good team has a point of attack player on the perimeter that you have to deal with. Denver's no exception, obviously, with Murray. He's a great player, a great shot maker. So Lou's critical for us every night. He's certainly critical for us in this series. Murray's a guy that when he gets going, it really ignites their team. They lean on him in pressure situations. And so just like Jokic, anything we can do to just blunt that a little bit. You're not going to shut those guys down with the volume that they're coming at you with and how talented they are. But if you can just defeat one more screen, not let them gain an advantage on one more screen, contest one more shot, that stuff adds up over the course of 48 minutes in all these games. Lou's done great so far. I thought Lou was a great tone setter for us in Game 2.
Mark, what are some of the keys of disrupting entry passes to the post like you guys did in Game 2?
I mean, a lot of it's activity. Like I said, we don't want to pick up fouls in those situations, so showing your hands, using your feet, using speed, using activity. And then the guy on the ball is important too, applying pressure to the handler or backing off the handler, depending on who it is. But that's a huge key for this team. If you can prevent catches or extend catches, that's similar to the Murray answer. That stuff just adds up over the course of the game. And against players that are, Jokic is as potent as anybody when he gets the ball. So making him work for the ball, making him work for deep catches, preventing him from getting the ball in some plays, that stuff all adds up. If you can get 3 possessions like that in a game, that's huge.
Coach, Michael Porter Jr. is clearly not 100%. He's talked about it a bunch, and he's not using it as an excuse, and his teammates are saying the same thing. But how can you attack a guy who's clearly limited in what he can do?
It's not like a huge, focus area in terms of the injury. We have an offensive game plan going against them generally that includes all the players that they play, all 6 or 7 guys. He's obviously one of them. We're aware of his strengths and weaknesses as a player. That's part of a playoff series, is understanding that. But, we're not looking at it relative to the injury. We're looking at it relative to his impact on both ends of the floor.
Mark, just going back to the entry passes, what have you liked about Dub's activity in different spots and sort of the influence he's had on Jokic's catches?
It's just he's, as usual, the versatility. He's switched on to him a couple times and able to do that. He pressures the handler at different times. You can throw him on Gordon at different times. He can switch on to Murray. There's a lot of different things he can do. I think his length and athleticism and then competitive will, is a nice blend for any defensive assignment that he has. But, if you've got him on Jokic, if you got a small on Jokic, you got to lean into that stuff because he's going to be bigger. And he's got an unbelievable ability to carve out space and get the ball. He's got great hands.
Mark, throughout the season, we talked about you guys seeing zone and cross matching and a few of the things that have been applied so far in the series. What have you made about maybe the work that you all did against that during the regular season, and if it's paying dividends here so far in the series?
Yeah, I think one of the benefits we've had the last 2 years in the regular season is, we've played well enough to draw schemes out of our opponents that we're going to need to attack in the postseason. So last year's postseason, some of the schemes we saw were schemes we saw in the regular season. We had an understanding of those, the trade-offs, the way we want to attack them, the strengths, the weaknesses, all that. This year's no different. This team will mix in a lot of zone. This team will put Jokic. They're trying to keep Jokic near the basket. He's in the paint quite a bit. And so they'll move things around to get him down there so that he's a rim deterrent or a defensive rebounder. So they do that in a couple different ways. They've definitely shown that in the first 2 games. I would expect them to continue to do that.
Anybody else for Coach?
All right, thanks.